Namaste dear students, welcome to the English class of grade 8. How are you? Good. Dear students, please come closer to your television set now with your English textbook, pen or pencil and other things that you need. Today we are going to discuss on writing. So before we do the discussion on writing, let me recap on the things that we did in our previous class. Do you remember what did we do in our previous class? Yes, we did reading on a poem. All right, and the poem was about birds flying, and there was a comparison. The flying birds was compared with the students, and they were the teachers, or they were the poet or the writer persuading the learners, especially the students, to do things. And there were different expressions used to persuade, like the poet persuades us calling a free bird. The poet tells us to flap our wings to fly. Only the wing doesn't work, okay? We have to flap it to come into action. So we should be very energetic. We should continue our expedition to reach the aim of life. And life is again not the bed of roses. It's full of thorns, it's full of obstacles and hindrances, it's full of problems, and we should have self-determination to overcome those kind of obstacles. And the poet was also telling us that, we have incredible strength with us, and we should have courage. We should have ability to know our courage. We should have ability to know our strength so that we can overcome and we can succeed in our life. And finally, the poet was telling us to be a patriot, okay, to love our nation. Okay, we should be a nation lover. And if the people, the citizens start loving the nation, then they of course can make their nation or make their country a paradise or a piece of heaven. Okay, that was what the message of the poet. Dear students, today we are going to discuss on writing task. All right, one of the important skill of learning, language learning. And we have the task 1 here, and there is instruction for us. Can you please read me the instruction? Yes. The first task given here with the instruction is rewrite the following paragraph with the correct punctuation marks. I repeat, rewrite the following paragraph with the correct punctuation marks. Okay, a paragraph is given, unpunctuated paragraph is given, and then we are supposed to put the different punctuation marks where necessary. Okay, so dear students, before I go for the exercise, I brought a video. Let's have a look. Okay, the video will tell about different punctuation marks and the name. Shall we go? Good. Let's go for watching a video.
Full stop.
Right.
Comma. Question mark. Exclamation mark. round brackets, or parenthesis. Square brackets. Quotation marks. Slash. Hyphen. Colon. Semicolon. Ellipsis. N dash. M dash. Apostrophe.
Yes, dear students. All right, this video was about some punctuation marks. Okay, now I think it was very helpful to you. So let me show you some punctuation marks, and let me see if you can tell the name. All right, before we go to the exercise. All right. So it was about punctuation. All right, punctuation mark. Okay, dear students, punctuation mark. How do you spell the word punctuation? Punctuation. Punctuation marks. Okay. Now let me ask you some of the common marks, and your job is to name them. Is that okay? Good. So, what is the name of this mark? Yes, it's full stop. FULLSTOP. Full stop. Right? Okay. What about this? This. Yes. Good. That's inverted comma, right? INVERTED. Inverted comma. Inverted comma, right? What about this? Yes, you're right. This is exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Let me ask you the last one for you. Okay, so what is this, please? Yes, you're right. This is question mark. Question mark. Okay, let me just write next mark, please. Okay, all right. So this is full stop, inverted comma, exclamation mark, question mark. So there are, okay, these are the common exclamation marks, and I have already introduced different punctuation marks there. Now we're going to do exercise. Is that okay? Good, good. All right. Okay, so if you go to your textbook, this is the exercise given to us. Okay, can you read the instruction again? Rewrite the following paragraph with the correct punctuation mark, right? The paragraphs, can you read for me, please? Okay, there are so many errors, and this paragraph is unpunctuated, and what's your job? Your job is to punctuate. Can you read for me, please? David, yeah, didn't really like school, but he did enjoy practical subjects where he could use his hands to make things. He also loved biology because he could draw lots of diagrams and do experiments. In fact, his mother once told him that he should become a surgeon. All right, okay. You can work even with your friends, or you can work in a pair, all right, and you try to put the punctuation marks in the correct space. You did. That's good. Now, let's see. All right. David didn't. What are changes? David. Okay, look here. D small and here D capital. Why? This is the question, okay? We have to know. Didn't. What's the difference? That's apostrophe, right? Okay, there is not. Next, things. After things, come on, there is no full stop and that should be full stop. What about he? Okay, here it's lowercase, H is lowercase. What about he? Yes, it's uppercase. First letter is capitalized. Experiments, come on, experiments and experiments. Oh, full stop should be there, didn't it? There's no full stop. In fact, oh yes, there is comma and there is no comma. Surgeon, after surgeon, come on, there is full stop and there is no full stop. Okay, now let us discuss why. All right, can you please tell me why? Why is that happened? Okay, this is a question, this is questions. Why is this D capitalized here? You're right. Because David, that's a name, that's a proper noun, name of a specific person. So we capitalized the specific person, like David, Ram, Badri, Sita, and the first letter is capitalized. That's good. What about didn't? Didn't here and didn't N. You're right again. Missing out letters or contraction form, we put apostrophe. All right, this didn't is did not. It's constructed, or there is missing out letter. Which letter? And O is missing out letter. So we put apostrophe. Didn't means did not. Yes. Next, please. Oh yes. Look, this H here, small letter H. He also, and here he also. Why H is capitalized here? Uppercase letter. Yes, there's full stop after things, and after full stop, we always begin with capital letter. First letter of the sentence is always uppercase. And what about next? Yes, look, after experiments, we keep full stop here. It's no full stop. So why? Because sentence complete. When at the end of the sentence, we especially with the statements, we put full stop. What about next? In fact, after in fact, there is comma. Okay, why? Because to avoid confusion or to separate the phrases, we put comma here. Okay, so dear students, I guess you did this. You can do this exercise now. Let's go to task B now. Is that okay? Good. So you have got to read me the instruction here, what we are asked to do in our task 2 of writing section. Can you read for me? Good. Develop a story with the help of the clues given below. Right? Clues are given for us. On the basis of those clues or hints, we have got to make a story. And not just writing a story, what we're going to do more? Give a suitable title to the story. We're also giving a title. And perhaps we give, okay, in our earlier class, we discussed about the moral message also. Okay, we'll also keep moral message of the story. So now, let's go to the clues. What are the clues given? Can you read for me, please? Good. A crow sticks some peacock feathers, especially in a crow, you know, that's black in color, that doesn't have the peacock feathers, isn't it? Which one is good? Okay, the feathers of crow is better, or the feathers of peacock is better? Yes, perhaps here there's a crow here, sticks. Okay, he may perhaps the crow likes the feathers of the peacock, so stick some peacock feathers. So after putting all those feathers, you know, what happened next? Flies to peacocks. The crow might have thought that, you know, I became the peacock now, so he flew to the peacocks. And what is the next clue? Claim peacock as relatives. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Perhaps the crow claimed that he is the relatives of the peacock. They drive him away. Who drove him away? Yes, peacock drove him away perhaps. Okay, this is just a guess, isn't it? Why do you think the peacocks drove him away? Because, yes, you're right. Because they recognized, you know, the peacocks recognized that the crow is no more peacock. He's just pretending to be a peacock. How did they know? Yes, the false feathers, you know, because, you know, the crow stalked the false feathers, isn't it? That feathers of the peacock, yeah. Fly to docks then. When, you know, the crow was driven away by the peacocks, perhaps, you know, he flew to docks. Okay. And perhaps dogs also drive him, or means dogs also knew that the crow is not dogs, the crow is crow. So dogs were not happy, perhaps, drove him away. Crow is left alone, isn't it? Okay, even the peacocks were not ready to make him friends, even the dogs were not ready to make him friends, so he became friendless. Okay, was the crow peacock? He was not, but he pretended, he tried to be peacock. Was he dogs? No, he wasn't. He also tried to be peacocks. Maybe that is the reason, isn't it? Okay, dear students, I think something, you know, a kind of, you know, mind map is there. Dear students, now what I'm going to do next is, we're going to, I brought a video for you. I think this video will make you easier to make, to think something about the story. So shall we go for that? Okay, here you go.
Once there was a crow. He always thought, God has given such beautiful colors to all the birds. And here I am, charcoal black. One day, the crow saw some peacock feathers fallen on the ground. He thought, I shall put these feathers into my feathers and then I shall become a peacock. Then I shall leave the crows and become one of the peacocks. The crow was thrilled. He quickly collected the peacock feathers. He then put those feathers into his feathers one by one. He proudly started walking like a peacock. On seeing this, an elderly crow said,
You fool! These tantrums are of no use. One doesn't become a peacock by just wearing peacock feathers, understand?
The crow did not like these words. He said,
Ugh!
Now who wants to stay with the crows? I shall go and stay with the peacocks. Saying this, he flew away and reached a place where the peacocks stayed. It started drizzling. All the peacocks were bathing in the rain. Some of the peacocks were wandering here and there, enjoying themselves. Few of the peacocks had spread their plumes and were showing off their dancing skills. The crow went in between the peacocks and quietly tried to spread his feathers. But how will a crow know how to spread his feathers? He tried endlessly, but he just couldn't spread his feathers. Just then, some of the peacocks started singing. The crow thought, I too shall sing like the peacocks. He opened his mouth to sing, and out came the sound. On hearing the sound, the peacocks were stunned. How did this crow come in between us peacocks? On seeing the peacock feathers in between the crow's feathers, some of the peacocks started laughing loudly. Some of the other peacocks attacked the crow in anger. They repeatedly pecked the crow until he fell down unconscious. They then plucked his feathers out. Thus, the crow returned to his flock, uglier than ever before. On seeing him, some of the younger crows said,
You are not one of us. Go away, go away. Quietly go away from here, or else.
Then the elderly crow intervened and said,
He has received enough punishment for his behavior. Do not punish him anymore.
He then turned to the crow and said,
You fool! You didn't listen to me, did you? Haven't you suffered enough for wearing peacock feathers?
Yes, dear students, how did you find the story? That's really interesting, isn't it? Right? Yes. So, I think, ideas came in your mind about the story. Yes? Look, there was a crow. What is the color of the crow? Black. And perhaps the crow didn't like himself. And so he wanted to be the peacock. Why do you think he wanted to be the peacock? Yes, because look at the peacock here in the pictures. So nice feathers, isn't it? So he wanted to be peacock. And peacocks, look at the peacock dancing. He tried his best. He saw some feathers. He put feathers on his body. He went to the peacocks, but the peacocks knew that the crow was not a peacock anymore. So they insulted. The crow was ridiculed perhaps, and then he was driven away by the peacocks. So he went to the ducks. The ducks also knew that the crow is not the ducks. It was the crow. So finally the ducks also drove away the crow. Finally the crow went to his own fellows. But some of the younger fellows, some of his younger fellows were very, very angry with him. Why? Because he hated the crow and he wanted to be something other. But there was an elder crow who convinced the younger crows, and he was excused. This is what happened, in our story. Dear students, now you can put this into paragraph. Shall we write the story now? Okay, good. So please take a pen and exercise book with you, and don't forget the title. What is the title? The Crow and Peacock. The Crow and Peacock. You also can have different topic. It is not the topic can be different. Okay, so for now I have put the topic The Crow and Peacock. You even can put a foolish crow or some other topic. Okay, so how do you begin the story? Yes, please, let's write. Once upon a time, this is how we begin the story. There lived a crow. This is just a sample. This is just a model for you. All right. They lived, and okay, one thing you have to be very careful is lived. Okay, why did I write the past form of the verb? Yes, when we write a story, it's all about narration. We narrate the past events, and when we are narrating or telling the past events, then we write in past form. Okay, so there lived a crow who did not like his feathers. Why? Because it was charcoal black. He always admired the colorful feathers of the peacock. So he liked the feathers of the peacock. He liked peacocks, so he also wanted to be peacocks, isn't it? So he wanted to be a peacock. He thought for some days, and an idea came in his mind. Okay, only thinking to be peacock is not good. Okay, he should have some idea. So he thought for a while, for some days, and then he was able to, okay, an idea came in his mind. And what happened then? What idea came in his mind? Okay, this is all about imagination, dear students. What you can do is you can imagine, okay, and you can write. One day, what happened one day? He flew because, okay, he needed some feathers of the peacock. So he flew in search of feathers of the peacock. Suddenly, the crow saw many feathers of peacock on the ground. He went towards the feathers. He gathered them and stuck them into his wings and tails, all over his body. He put those feathers. Why? Yes, because he wanted to be the peacock. He did his best to decorate himself with the feathers so that nobody could doubt over him. Okay, he could be a real peacock. He tried his best to be a real peacock. What happened further, do you think? Do you think he was able to fool the peacocks? Maybe or may not be. Let's see. What happened next? The next day, he went to join the flock of peacocks. Okay, there were so many peacocks there, and he went there. He said them that peacocks are his relatives. Hello, you are my relatives. Something like, the crow tried his best to convince the peacocks, but the peacocks immediately knew that he was a crow, wasn't it? The crow was not smart enough, and the peacocks were smart enough, and they recognized easily that it was not the peacock, it was the crow. He was the crow. They ridiculed him and drove him away. Once they knew that, okay, the crow was trying to be a peacock, then the peacocks were very angry and they ridiculed him and drove him away. Okay, so this is how the crow was insulted. The peacocks clearly understood that he was not one among them. So being disappointed, once the crow was disappointed. So being disappointed, he went to the ducks and he tried again. He told the ducks that he wanted to be friends, but the ducks saw feathers of peacocks in his body. So they also rejected him. They rejected his proposal and drove him away. And what happened next? Can you guess? Yes. Finally, after all, the crow became very sad and humiliated. He returned back to his fellow crows. But, what is the problem? His fellow crows insulted him because they noticed peacock feathers hanging all over his body. He was left alone and he became friendless. And he realized his mistake and regretted what he did. And he tore off the feathers of peacock, stuck to his body. He became a crow again and begged pardon to his fellow crows. Please, dear friends, forgive me now. Okay, this is what he started begging pardon to his fellow crows. The crows became very kind to him and excused him. He became friends again, and the crow became very happy. So what is the moral lessons you think from this story? Can you guess? Yes, we should accept what we have and remain satisfied. Okay, we should not act over smart. The crow was acting over smart and he was trying to be the peacock. He was trying to be the duck. Okay, and that just insulted. He has to be insulted. That is the reasons. Okay, so what the moral message? We should accept what we have and remain satisfied. We should not over smart. We should not act over smart. Dear students, this is how I think you have to develop a readable story. I think you can do that. So we have come almost to the end of the class. So before we go for that, let's go to a project work. There's a project work section. Work in groups. Can you read the instruction for me, please, here? Yes. Work in groups. Visit different shops nearby. Right? This is a practical work. You have to go in your community. You have to go in nearby shops. Listen to the shopkeeper and customers talking. If you go to the nearby shops, you will find customers and shopkeeper talking. What next? And there, customers, shopkeepers are trying their best to persuade the customers to buy things from their shops. So what is your job? Your job is list the expressions. Okay, if you have the Nepali speakers somewhere in the shop, you can just bring those expressions in Nepali, and what you can do, you can translate them into English with the help of your teacher and some other people, okay, who can speak English. You can, with the help of them, you can just translate and you present it to the class. All right, and the shopkeeper may speak the customer's language, isn't it? Okay, so they may build a rapport with the customer. They understand and read body language of the customer. They sell them their desires. So you try to collect the expressions. So I have brought some model expressions for you, like this is the good product you must buy. Perhaps the customer, the shopkeeper might tell to the customer, this is the good product you must buy. Or buy this one, we have special discount on this product. Or take this one, it has 1 year warranty. Okay, the shopkeeper might talk about the warranty. Or okay, sometimes shopkeepers might tell to the customer that okay, the customer might be talking about the discounts and there's just a small margin. We gain a loss on that price. Can you go a bit higher? Or the customer shopkeeper might tell quality is important than the price. Or next, okay, I'll agree on that. Customer satisfaction is our motto. Or it's because shopkeepers want their customer again to visit again, so they might also put the expression to persuade them, like, thank you for your purchase, do come back, should you require anything more. Okay, this is how the shopkeeper might try to persuade the customer using this expression. You just go and bring those kind of expression and present in the class, dear students. Dear students, we have come to the end of today's class. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much. Bye bye.